Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Money Stop. It is a uh, it is a late Monday night here on the East Coast, um, just after 8 o'clock. Glad to be with you guys. It's been a while since we've sat down in these chairs and walked into the studio and stuff. Um, Joined by the one and only Laner, who is taking on a different appearance tonight. Welcome onto the show again.
Hello, everybody.
We've got an action-packed episode for you guys tonight. Just one thing we want to throw out there too before we kind of start talking about some things. Um, we are planning on talking more about just the preseason of everything. There is a series that is going on right now that, like, it's great and all, but we're just kind of killing time until the new game starts too. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but also mainly about the new game. And we've got some in real life racing storylines and some news to talk about and get our opinions on some things. And then we've got the new game to talk about and the new car to talk about too. So we've got plenty to talk about tonight on the Money Stop. But think of this as sort of a pre-season 3 episode. We don't want to kick off season 3 just yet, just because we want to wait for the new game and the new car to roll out, and that way we can kind of get back to a weekly basis of uploading episodes and stuff. So with that being said, let's kick it off. Yeah, we'll open the floor. Let's throw it over to our first topic of the night. So, just something we wanted to kind of talk about right now, at least for the first couple of minutes, is just some catching up with each other. Some general updates, I guess, what's been going on in each of our lives since we last filmed an episode, but also kind of raced together as well. It's been a while since we've raced against each other. And Laner has gone on to compete in the ROCAR series, and he's also been racing for when they were using the previous game. There's been a lot that we got to catch up on too, just with some storylines off the track as well. But as far as us, I would say nothing has changed with me. I've still been in school, working like crazy. My work schedule is off the hook right now. Enjoying some time in watching just different motorsports as well. I've really gotten more into IndyCar and Formula One this year, and so I've been following those storylines as well as NASCAR a little bit. It's been interesting, kind of seeing the different perspectives of watching IndyCar and Formula One because each sport kind of operates differently and conducts business differently. So it's very unique to watch, just kind of how they approach their races week to week and how the different teams approach their races week to week. And I won't lie, it's been a rough season for Noah Gregson. That's who I've been kind of rooting for this season. I don't think he got like he finished, I believe, 15th or 16th at Darlington last night, but it has been an abysmal season for that team. I feel terrible. And it sucks turning the race on every week just to see him blow an engine or crash or hit the wall and or toe link breaks or something. Something's always going on with that team. So just sucks that they're having the luck that they're having, but hopefully they can turn it around for the last couple of races this year. And I'm really getting into Connor Zillage too, so he might be one of my new favorite drivers to root for. But what's going on in your neck of the woods, Laner?
Just same old stuff, just working and playing Roblox and racing. It's same old stuff, but yeah, I guess Noah Gregson is that might be kind of tough to be a fan of his right now. But I think he has potential.
Mm-hmm.
He maybe eventually. I don't think he's in the best equipment right now either, though, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's it's rough. I won't even sugarcoat it, but um, you know, couple more weeks and got time to at least make something out of the season. Um, the chat is lighting up right now, and that's nice to see. We've got some familiar faces in the chat already. But oh man, yeah, I mean, work has been kicking my ass. I won't even lie. It's been keeping me away from watching what's been going on with ROARCA, but also too with the previous season on the old game. Kept me from watching some of the races and finding out kind of what was going on towards the end of the season, which was unfortunate. But I caught up a little bit over the summer and was at least able to see who was, who was in contention and really who was in the mix every week and stuff like that. It was nice to go watch some old film and tapes of old races and stuff like that. Makes me miss a lot of those days with racing against everybody, but I don't know. Maybe there will be a day where I come back. I'm throwing it out there, but maybe there will be a day that I come back. Just for right now, it's not the right time or the right place, but certainly has been a blast watching you guys race and I'm sure you're having a fun time laner and Row Arca right now. Um, I don't know if you want to elaborate on that, but
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more of like a relaxed league. Like it's not nearly as serious, at least from my perspective.
mm,
Which can be good. I mean, like it's a lot more fun, but at the same time, like you do enjoy the Cup Series because it is more like high pressure and I don't know that like it there's a place for both. It's nice to like relax a little bit and just enjoy this, not really have to worry about much, but it's also fun to be in the Cup Series and kind of you really like feel the pressure, and that's also whenever people just get pissed off at each other. So I think they're both equally as fun, but very different environments.
mm, for sure, for sure. Um, well, let's move into our next segment. So let's talk about some stuff that's been going on in real life here. Some different storylines and what's happening in some different motorsports. So I guess we can talk about NASCAR first because there's been a lot going on since we were on the air last. Um, the 2311 and Front Row Motorsports and NASCAR lawsuit has been just it's been slugging away, and it's probably going to be slugging away for the next couple of months as well. I believe they're headed to trial in December, I think, right after the season is over. So, should be interesting to watch how that unfolds. And then, I mean, I feel like for silly season, it's kind of been a slow, silly season. I feel like the only thing that I've read about that like I feel like is kind of like major um, is Daniel Suarez leaving Trackhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I haven't heard anything else that's like really major right now, at least in the Cup Series. But like, who might fill that spot? And it turned out to be Connor Zillage. So, it's like it could have been anybody as well. And I think they picked a good guy to go in that car. So I'm excited to see, um, that he's going to be landing with them again. But also too, I feel for Suarez and like I don't know. I guess just like where he'll land, he'll kind of. I feel like he's going to take the Harrison Burton route. He might go back to Xfinity, um, maybe run a couple races there, but I don't know if that means that like this is the end of his career or another cup team will pick him up, but um, just it's sucks. It's unfortunate for him, but
Yeah, I don't really know like of any competitive cup teams that really even have a spot. Honestly, yeah, like really all the competitive cup teams are all, unless he wanted to like I don't know like run for a back marker like Rick Ware or something. But I think his best bet would just be go down to Xfinity. And maybe if he could get on a good team, compete for a championship. But I don't know. Suarez just really his potential never came to light in the Cup
That's
Series at least.
yeah, and I know that there's a couple other cars right now too that are kind of on a tipping point, or like the iceberg is like gonna tip with trying to sign their driver. I know like the 7 car is a conversation of like who will be in the car next year, because I believe right now I believe it's Justin Haley, and I don't think that he is signed um for next year. So I believe that, that's going to be another conversation as well of who might be in that car. Um, but I mean, it's kind of been a slow silly season. We might not hear much though until the off season. So um, or closer to the end of the season. So I'm not really sure, but
Yeah, and honestly, it seems like silly season's kind of going to be slow for the next few years. Um, just because there aren't really like nearly as many competitive teams anymore. Um, and all the teams that are competitive kind of have like their spots solidly. I mean, the only thing I could see that would maybe shake things up in the future is if they Hendrick like doesn't re-sign Bowman, or like I don't know, like something like that. But really, other than that, I feel like everybody's pretty secure in where they're at. And I honestly think they'll re-sign Bowman too. So I don't really even know that that's going to happen.
yeah, it's possible for sure that they'll re-sign him, but I don't know if it's like
It's not a for sure
guaranteed.
thing,
Yeah, yeah,
definitely.
I wouldn't say that, but I think something that's going to be interesting to watch too is how the 2311 lawsuit ends up, because if they get their charters fully revoked and the team shuts down, where do
True.
Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick go? That's also
That would
something to think about,
that'd
because
be very interesting.
yeah, and that puts 2 charters in the hands of teams that, could gain a car, or leaves room for somebody like Junior Motorsports to come into the sport, which I know like a lot of people have been waiting to see for a long time. And, you know, does somebody pick up both of the drivers, just one driver? Do they split up and go to different teams? Um, but I mean, with that,
I've
it could open up a whole Pandora's box of things.
Yeah, I feel better about Reddick. I mean, Reddick would for sure get a cup ride. I think Bubba should get a cup ride, but I don't know. Um, Reddick is definitely more of like a sure thing. Like he would for sure stay in cup.
Yeah,
I don't know without a doubt that Bubba would for sure stay in cup. I think he should stay in cup, but I don't know. Another thing in the future that's going to happen, I'd say within the next 2 to 3 years, is Dodge is going to enter the Cup Series, and that'll also shake things up. So, I mean, within the next 3 to 4 years, there will definitely be a lot. But yeah, I mean, this lawsuit it could really like flip things over. And who knows? Maybe 2311 and Front Row will try to just buy the charters back.
yeah.
But there's also the possibility that they win the lawsuit and then we don't have charters anymore.
There is that
So,
possibility. Yeah, yeah,
I mean, no matter what, with this lawsuit, it's going to really send shockwaves through the sport either way.
yeah,
Unless they come to a settlement, which I don't really think NASCAR is even going to be willing to negotiate. I
yeah. And I
mean,
think
they've
I
kind
think the
of
craziest part is like nobody's ever gone this far in a lawsuit with NASCAR before. Um,
yeah.
so it's crazy that they're putting their foot down and going till the end with the lawsuit.
Yeah, and I mean Front Row in 2011 don't have a choice. I mean, they already made their bed, so they they have to go through with it otherwise they're just screwed.
Yeah.
Um really their only option is to go through with it and just hope that they win or hope they come to a settlement, but yeah, I mean I wouldn't feel good if I was them.
Oh, I got disconnected. Lovely. Hold, please. Sorry, guys. Ay, ay, ay.
We're still getting into we're still in preseason form. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm paying attention to the chat a little bit, so forgot that I have to kind of also pay attention to the game as well. Um, I do have to rejoin though because the camera is being weird. So, 1 second. Trying to fix our technical difficulties. Um, there we go. Some things never change, right? Some things never change.
Do you listen to the Teardown at all, like the podcast?
Occasionally I do.
So I was listening to the post race for Darlington yesterday, and one thing that Jordan Bianchi said that it was really a good point is that if this trial does go like all the way, NASCAR's dirty laundry is going to get aired out because like this judge is going to release everything. He's going to release their financial statements. He's going to release emails, screenshots, like anything you can think of. It'll be out to the public. So he was kind of under the assumption that NASCAR really doesn't want this to go all the way to the trial. But I mean, I don't really know if they have a choice. But it would be interesting if their financial statements do come out to the public, because we haven't seen any financial things from NASCAR in I don't know how long. I mean, they stopped releasing that information a long time ago.
To be honest, I don't know if it was ever released because they're a
Yeah,
private
yeah,
they're a private family owned company. So I
true. And
don't
they've
think
never had to do this before. So
right. I don't think they've ever opened their books to the public. Um so it'll be interesting to see, and we'll have to kind of keep an eye on it in the next couple of months. But yeah, should be interesting to watch it unfold though. I think another thing, just kind of as like a last note with this too, is the comments that both sides were making towards one another were pretty remarkable. And the fact that they were making those comments towards each other and just relentlessly, I think was pretty sad to see that they were talking about each other like that. But also, it didn't surprise me. Um,
yeah,
we knew how much Denny Hamlin kind of, we know he doesn't like NASCAR, but like he just doesn't like the France family. Um, and now that kind of confirms everything. Um, but also just some things from both sides, some comments pretty insensitive. So sucks to see, but it makes me wonder how many more conversations like that were held that just haven't been released yet.
yeah. And I know like one of the points from the teams is that they're trying to prove that NASCAR is a monopoly or whatever. And I guess somehow they found a screenshot that NASCAR was trying to buy SMI. I'm like, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally a monopoly. They're trying to own all the tracks, and yeah, I mean, it is pretty crazy. I didn't,
Hmm.
you know, they do have a good point.
Yeah, I mean their argument point is not that bad. So it'll be interesting to see where they come out though. I think the judge is supposed to issue a decision like sometime this week on whether, I guess, they go to trial or not, or like whether this thing moves forward past um the past hearing they just had. Um because 2311 lost their appeal, and they were not granted the injunction. So I believe like their racing is open cars, but NASCAR made the rule so they were like guaranteed spots, but still classified as open cars. So should be interesting to watch. I don't know. I just I something I've been watching for a couple of years now, and it's something I've never seen before. So it'll be interesting to see how it further unfolds. So um,
Right. Yeah, there's no telling where this could go. So, I mean, really, the judge could do whatever he wants if it does go to trials. So, this sport might look a lot different next year if
right,
they do win the case.
right. Um, just a quick note: IndyCar wrapped up this past weekend in Nashville. The champion of the sport is once again Alex Palou. No surprise there. I believe he. Hold on, I gotta look up how many races this guy has won this year because he's like the Max Verstappen of IndyCar. Um, it's insane, how many weeks that I turned on the race and he was leading or he was about to win the race, and um, let me see if it'll tell me right on IndyCar's website. Um, so he had 8 wins this year, 11 podiums, 12 top fives, 13 top tens, and 5 poles. Um, it's his fourth championship this year, and he's right on his cusp of kind of stepping into elite status. AJ Foyt has 7 championships, Dixon has 6, and he's tied with Mario Andretti and a couple other IndyCar champions as well. But I think it's so remarkable to watch this guy, um, and he's in his own world every week um, when he's racing others, and um, I'm really looking forward to seeing how he's going to perform over the next few seasons. I guess Penske had a abysmal season after the Indy 500. After they got that penalty and they fired Tim Cindric, it was like their season was over. But yeah, it's crazy, just how everything unfolded this season for Alex Palou, and um, you know, it was a great season, just a little bit boring. That's all, but I enjoyed it. I don't know if you caught up on any IndyCar stuff later, but
I don't really watch it much. I honestly was surprised their season is that short.
yeah,
I mean, I know NASCAR has like an abnormally long season in motorsports, but that seems like really short to me because it seems like the Indy 500 wasn't that long ago. So,
yeah, it
I,
wasn't really.
I mean, I don't know if it's always been that long or like I don't know. Maybe IndyCar should consider expanding the schedule a little bit.
Yeah, I don't. What's crazy is I don't think they start until I believe like late February. I want to say like they start. I think either a week or two after NASCAR does their 500. Um, I believe. I'm not sure of the schedule exactly, but they should extend their schedule a bit.
Oh, so is the Indy 500 not like their opening event?
No, it's not.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, the
Okay,
Indy
I didn't.
500 falls like um, a couple of races into the season. It's like their fifth or
Okay,
sixth race. Yeah. Um,
interesting.
yeah, their first race was on March 2nd, just to give you an idea. So
Okay, so it's kind of around the same, a
yeah,
little bit. I mean,
yeah,
maybe like 9 or 10 weeks shorter.
yeah. Um, but I mean, it's still been a great season, and Alex Palou took away the championship again, so have to see if he can back it up again um, next year.
It
But
is kind of interesting that the trucks are going to be racing at St. Pete next year. That's kind
yeah,
of a little bit of an IndyCar crossover. I think they're like sharing the track with IndyCar. Like, pretty sure it's like trucks on Friday and then IndyCar on Saturday, or I don't know how they're doing it exactly, but I thought that was kind of bizarre.
yeah, it sounds like that's like what they're heading for. And I know that IndyCar is also planning on having a new race around the Cowboy Stadium next year,
Yeah.
so that'll be interesting to see as well how that unfolds. Um,
Yeah, and I saw a report that they're looking at a Washington D.C. street race, like in the D.C. area.
mhm.
Um, I don't know if the report I saw said that they didn't know if they would get it done in time for next season, but they were hopeful for 2027.
I don't know. I don't know if that was real because I thought I saw that somewhere too, but like the guy that runs that page or whoever runs that page, I don't know if they rely. or they
Oh,
relay credible information.
yeah, they
Um,
could be.
yeah, they also made a comment about like um, one of the media members getting kicked out of uh, of the track, I believe, like last weekend at Daytona because they asked Denny Hamlin a question that like just it was a it was an inappropriate question to ask him, but it ended up being fake anyway. Um, I think that was the same account. I can't remember the name of the account, but yeah, I don't know what's accurate and what's not, but I mean, that's just what I have seen. Um, uh, as far as Formula One goes, I mean, McLaren has kind of stripped Max Verstappen of his title hopes this year. I mean, Max just sucks. He is god awful. Because when you think back to like 2 years ago, how good that guy was, he was winning, it was gone by like 18, 19, 20 seconds every race. Um, just, you know, absolute masterclass every week. And now he's been finishing at least maybe second, third, fourth. Really just falls between where the McLarens finish because they're the fastest cars on track every week. Um, Lewis Hamilton, I'm not even going to talk about him because his season at Ferrari has been abysmal as well. He's just had terrible luck. And then, he just has not performed the way I thought we all thought, I guess, he would perform. Um, I don't know if you've been following up with Formula One or anything with that either, Laner, but it's been it's been a pretty interesting season.
Honestly, no. If I had to choose, I would choose IndyCar over F1. F1's
Yeah,
like the times are so weird here in the US, so it's kind of hard to even watch a race if you want to.
yeah, it is
I
really
mean, you kind
hard.
of like have to go out of your way to watch one if you do. They're either like super early or super late.
Hmm. Yeah, I get that. And most of the races here are at like 8 o'clock in the morning, so
Yeah.
it's super hard. It's super hard. Um,
I know there are some like diehard F1 fans here in the US that will watch them no matter what.
yeah, I know I've become one of those fans, but it's man, it's rough. I won't even kid you. When it's here in the U.S., when they're in Miami or L.A., when they're in Vegas or if they're in Texas, then it's easier with the times because they're
Yeah.
convenient to our part of the day. But when they're racing in like China or um, if they're in Monza or if they're in um, Monaco, they're
I mean,
crazy times of the day.
even that Las Vegas race, I mean, last year when they did it, it was like at a super weird time, even for the US. I think it was like, I can't remember, but it was like
It
past
was at midnight.
midnight.
It was at
Yeah.
midnight. Yeah.
It was like, what the heck? I'm surprised Las Vegas even let them do that. Racing in the streets past midnight. I mean, I guess it's Vegas. No one cares it's Vegas, but
What's
that's kind of,
crazy too is like it's a 10-year deal that they have with the city. So it's going to be like that for a while.
yeah. I mean, it's nobody cares in Vegas past midnight. It's like the party's just getting started there, but
Yeah. I was actually there last year um when they were setting up for the race last year in like mid early to mid November. And they already have like road closures in effect and stuff like that. So it really messes with their tourism and the traffic and what streets are accessible and what are not. So I mean, beyond the 10-year deal, I don't know what it'll look like, but it's what they've got to deal with for now. So
yeah.
um all right, just for time's sake, I guess let's move on for now. But clearly, a lot going on in different motorsports and stuff like that. Um, so next thing up that we were going to talk about tonight is the Row Arca season so far, and just some of the scheduled races coming up. So far, the series um, is in the third. Let me see again. I gotta pull up the schedule
Yeah,
again.
we're in the third race.
Third race, yeah, that's what I thought. So far they've gone through Daytona and Richmond, and coming up this weekend is North Wilkesboro, and then the next couple of weeks until they wrap up the East Series is going to be Charlotte, Milwaukee, Watkins Glen, IRP, and Martinsville. Um, and then they're going over to the West Series and kicking things off with Auto Club. Then they're going to Pikes Peak, Portland, Iowa, Talladega, Phoenix, Elko, and Vegas. So, got some good variety of tracks in both the East and the West Series. And from what I've heard, it's been an interesting season already to start. Um, I think Daytona and Richmond, obviously two very different tracks, presented two very different types of racing. And Laner, I guess I'll get your take on it. What's been the most interesting thing about the series so far since it started?
Well, I will say in the first race at Daytona, it was pretty crazy. We were able to like get a second line formed, and it was actually working. Like people were genuinely pushing on the second line and like passing the bottom, which never happened in the Cup Series. A lot of people theorized it was just because, you know, we're not really worried about points and it's just for fun. Compared to the Cup Series, everybody's stressed out about points. Um, and really, like in the Cup Series, you're really never going to leave the bottom because 90% of the time it's not going to work. So it was interesting to see like when people don't care about points, they're willing to do things,
Hmm.
and it actually worked. So I don't know. You get three or four people up on the top, we can actually make it happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you make, I guess, of using these cars, I guess, for now? Um, and what's coming up, obviously, and how the new cars will drive. So what do you make, I guess, of using these cars for now for maybe an ARCA series in the future, um, and making this like something that you guys could bring back down the road with the other cars and the other game going?
I'm not sure what it'll look like once we have the new game out, because the goal is for the new game to have a larger field size. So I don't really know that we'll need a second division, but I mean, maybe we could just keep this league going just for fun. I mean, I know a lot of people have enjoyed it, and it's a lot less stressful than the Cup Series, so it might be nice to kind of have both going simultaneously. But I don't know. That's kind of like a wait and see type of thing. See how many people would be interested in that. Um, because doing two leagues in 1 week might be, I don't know, a lot of racing for people. So we'll kind of just have to wait and see on that one.
All right. Is there any tracks coming up that you are particularly looking forward to, whether it's on the East or West schedule?
Honestly, I don't even know the schedule off the top of my head, but I think Milwaukee will be a good track for me. I normally run that good there. I'm not excited for North Wilkesboro this week. I'm pretty terrible there. It's probably like my worst track. I mean, I'm excited to go to a lot of these newer tracks that we've never gone to before. Um, I think IRP will be a lot of fun. Um, Pikes Peak, Portland, Elko. I mean, some of those newer tracks. Phoenix will be a lot of fun. That's normally a good race. So yeah, a lot of the newer ones. I think those will be cool.
Yeah, I think it's a good lineup of tracks coming up. Um, I think Martinsville will be interesting as well with these cars because I don't know if you guys are intending on going to Martinstown or Martinsville. Um, but I think it'll be interesting if you guys go to Martinsville with the cars. Um, so I'm looking forward to that race at least, but because we all know how those cars handle at Martinsville. Um, but I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's too early to tell, at least right now, because again, it's only week 3 going into week 3. It's way too early to tell like who the favorites are. But I think by maybe like week 5 by Milwaukee or Watkins Glen, we'll know really who the standouts are. Um, I know that too. We've got some returning faces and we've got some new faces back, so it's nice to see a little bit of a mix of both. And So far it's been great racing. So um, just those things about tempers, got to cool down a little bit, but um, it's all part of the game. So
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are just doing it for fun. But I mean, at Richmond, it got a little bit spicy at times. But I mean, uh, that's just kind of the nature of short tracks. There's really nowhere to go but into each other, like where you're just gonna be bumping, and it's I don't know. That's just also like the thing with these cars is they're not really great for racing at short tracks or any track really in terms of I don't know, like side by side racing. It's just they're a mess. We have a lot of wrecks and people get pissed off. And that was one of the main reasons that we wanted to try to make something new because I don't think like long term it's sustainable. It seems like it was just getting worse and worse every year with people getting upset with each other.
yeah, yeah. The old cars really didn't provide um, a secure like environment, I guess, for the league itself. It was kind of an on edge situation every week. Like somebody was always getting mad at each other, um, or somebody was always getting mad at another person, or you know, always words being thrown. It was never a there was never a dull moment during those races.
Yeah.
But um, I think with the new car and the new game, hopefully it will quell some of that, and hopefully squash any um, altercations, I guess, whether it's like verbal or physical. Sometimes it does get physical. Um, sometimes it does get physical. You really got to watch because especially at places like Darlington and like Richmond and places where you got short track tempers and stuff like that, uh, there will be physical fights. And we all know, who the uh I mean, we all know who the typical guys for that would be. But in terms of altercations, hopefully that will be fixed with the new game. And there won't really be anything um, going on in terms of the frustrations towards one another. Um, Speaking of the new game, um, I guess that brings us into our next topic of the night. Um, just providing any updates with the game in general, or on the car itself, um, and then just providing some thoughts and takes on it. So I guess for this part, I will give it over to you, Laner, because you would know way more than I do on in the developer side of things. And you know, I'll just show the images on the screen and make it look nice while you're talking, I guess. But
Yeah. What I will say, one of the biggest holdups with the new game, the process for like setting up tracks is a lot more complex with the new game. Whereas in the old game, I could get a track set up in like probably 10 or 15 minutes and have it fully functional and ready for a race. With the new game, to set up one track probably takes a few hours. There's a lot more that goes into it. Um, Most of that is because the leaderboard is going to be a lot more accurate. Instead of updating like once per lap or every 5 seconds or whatever it is, I don't really know. The new one's going to update constantly, so you're going to have live, real time updates with the leaderboard. And in order to do that, we have to place a lot of parts around the track so that the leaderboard kind of knows what's happening. Also, the new multi groove package involves a lot more parts, and there's just a lot of things that go into making the tracks. Um, we've been working on the leaderboard a lot lately. That's another thing that's kind of been holding us up. But other than that, I mean, pretty much we're pretty close to being ready. It's just the leaderboard and getting all the tracks set up. But I think we have a lot done to do a few more test sessions soon. We have a few short tracks, a few super speedways, and we already did Charlotte. So really, and a road course. We got Watkins Glen done. So really, we're looking to get to a road course, a short track, and a super speedway, and see how those do. But we're hoping to get the leaderboard done before that, so we can kind of test them all at the same time. But in terms of the cars, I mean, they're pretty much the same as when we tested them last. At least for the intermediates, that's kind of why we need to test at these other tracks, just to see how they react at the different types of tracks.
Uh, I just want to ask you too. You know, between looking at the two games, with this new one that's going to be coming up, what are the expectations, I guess, in terms of the racing product that we'll see on track? And that goes for any type of the tracks, like, whether it's short tracks or super speedways. What do you think, we'll see in terms of the racing product?
Well, I really don't know for the super speedways and short tracks since we haven't really tested them yet.
Mm,
I mean, the intermediates, like Charlotte, seemed pretty solid to me. There were definitely a few things that needed worked on. I know the draft was a little bit weak, and it was kind of hard to make runs on people. But yeah, I mean, I thought the intermediates, the multi groove worked pretty well in my opinion. I know some people didn't really think so, but I thought it worked exactly like it was supposed to. You could take the top or the bottom and stay equal with the person next to you. So, I mean, that's exactly what you want out of multi groove, right? So,
right.
yeah, I don't know about the short tracks and road courses yet. We really have not logged any laps on any of those types of tracks, so it's kind of a wait and see on those. But super speedways, I mean, ideally, it'll be pretty similar to what we have now, but hopefully we can kind of get a second lane formed, and it's not just bottom dominant like it typically has been.
Mhm. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing, just what's going to be coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Do you think you'll be showing off any more sneak peeks here in the next couple of days
Oh
or
yeah,
weeks, I guess? But
I've actually I've been meaning to put more. I don't know if I know there's a few people that might not be in that server, but I did put out an announcement a few weeks ago to our private Discord server where I've been posting some pictures. But yeah, I've been meaning to post some more stuff in there. We have been working on the UI a lot, so I do have a few more things I need to post in there.
and I guess when do you expect the game to be fully published, ready, and the season is going to be kind of kicking off from there. I know that the ROCAR series will probably be finishing up within the next couple of months, so it'll give you guys some time to just put some finishing touches on the game and making sure you got everything ready to go. But um, when do you guys anticipate? I mean, you and Icy, as in you guys, anticipate on getting everything kind of ready to roll out.
Yeah, I mean, ideally we could get some test sessions done before the ROARCA series is done. But in terms of like starting the racing, whether it be the preseason or the real season, the preseason will probably take place probably a few weeks after the ROARCA. Our goal is to start the preseason after the ARCA series is done. But we're hoping to get some test sessions done before that. That way we can start the preseason right away rather than, do testing and then start the preseason. We're hoping to have everything done once this league is over.
All right, sounds good. Um, is there anything else you would like the viewers to know about the game coming up? Anything you want to throw out there while we're on the topic?
Not really off the top of my head. Um, no, not really. Not anything I can think of.
All right. Um, I will ask you, is there any planned features that were not in the previous game that you guys are planning on incorporating into the new game?
Well, we will have a public game, kind of like I mean, ROCAR Reborn or Racing or whatever people refer to it as. We did have a public game with that, and I mean, whenever the game first came out, I know you were around for this because you kind of joined whenever it first came out. It we actually had quite a few people that would play it from time to time,
Hmm.
but we're hoping to have something like that. I don't know to what extent it'll be. I know we want VIP servers in this one, so kind of like ROSIM. I know a lot of people have played that, where you can have your own private server. Because I know, like right now, if you want to go practice, like everybody's in the same server, so you can't really do like private practice sessions. Everybody just kind of has to do it at once, and that kind of makes it difficult for teams to individually practice with each other. You kind of just have to hope that nobody else is in the game. So we are going to have VIP servers where you can make your own, invite people, spawn your own tracks. We'll have officiating commands. Excuse me. The leaderboard will be very customizable. We'll have like a ticker at the top where you can put in whatever you want. I mean, the track name, the event name, whatever. I mean, anything your heart desires. We'll have I think you have the pictures up so people can see. We'll have the flags on the side rather than having to type it out. You can just click it, so it'll be a lot easier for officials to use it. And we will have kind of like ROSIM where you could click on the track, like you didn't have to type out the track name when you were spawning it. You could scroll and click it. We will have that as well. So I think overall it'll be a lot easier for officials, and it'll be a lot better for the players because you can have your own VIP servers, and then the public game too. But we haven't really talked much about the public game. Our
Hmm.
main goal right now is just to get this functional for the league, and then once we do that, we'll kind of focus more on the public game.
Awesome. All right. Well, sounds like progress is coming along well, and hopefully, um, we will be able to kick off the money stop with the start of the game and the start of the new car and everything. Um, I want to ask you as well in regards to the upcoming season, if you have any hot takes, I guess. Um, I know at least for right now, the only like biggest news I think that we've had is that Land is semi-retired, I guess. He's still in ROARCA, but you know, don't know if he's going to be back um, next season in terms of the new game and when the races are scheduled and stuff. Um, so I guess assuming that he may or may not be a factor into the races every week, do you have any hot takes as far as the top drivers in your eyes? Who could be competitive and ones to watch for the upcoming season?
I mean, it's really hard to say whenever we don't like have a great idea of how the cars are going to handle everywhere.
Mm,
Um, I mean, from the test session we did at Charlotte, to me it felt a lot like the current cars, like they're a little bit tighter. But I mean, I guess I would give the edge to maybe drivers who prefer a tighter setup. Um, but I mean, the current cars are also tighter in nature. You can't really make the current cars loose. I mean, all it does is make you turn faster.
mm,
But realistically, I mean, you can't really make the cars loose like the current ones at all. No matter what, you're not like spinning the back tires or anything. You're always stuck to the track. So I don't really think it's going to be too big of an adjustment. The cars are kind of the same in the fact that they don't really get loose. They're pretty tight naturally. So I don't know. It's really hard to say. I don't know if we have a lot of new people come in that might shake things up too. But I think it's going to be wide open, and there's really no telling what to expect. I would give like a slight edge to the veterans, but then again, I mean it's everybody's going into this together, so it'll be new for everybody.
yeah, for sure. Um, I think the ones that will have the best view is the commentators, the people in the booth, as well as the fans. Because I think with this season coming up, everything's new. So it's kind of like the next gen car,
Yeah,
debuting, and you didn't really know what to expect. You didn't know because everybody was kind of on equal playing field. With the Gen
right.
6 car, you had teams had found advantages, but then everybody was given the same supplies, the same kind of building um, methods for building the cars, and the same everything. So for me, it's going to be interesting to watch it all unfold. And I'll have the best role in just sitting back and watching you guys duke it out. But
Yeah, that's a very good comparison, and that kind of gives like makes me think. I hope people understand like even once we start the first season, like the cars might not be perfect. Kind of some very similar to when the Gen 7 came out. Like we're gonna learn things about the cars in the game as we go along. I mean the preseason will help with getting a lot of this stuff figured out, but obviously, I mean that you can only learn so much. So. Um, I guess I just hope everybody is patient and gives constructive criticism rather than I don't know, being rude about it, because obviously any new game or new car is going to have things that need worked out, but the only way to do that is by using it and racing with them, and then we'll learn that as we go and we'll fix them. So that's really all we can do.
yeah, for sure, for sure. All right. Well, thanks for providing some updates on that. And I think that was it in terms of what we had to talk about, what we had on our agenda. Um, something that I just thought about something that I just thought about though was maybe opening it up to our comment section to ask questions if they want for the next couple of minutes before we wrap up.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think we were going to give our playoff predictions as well for real life.
yeah, yeah, we can do that. I don't know if you want to do like champion or if you want to do just maybe
I mean,
this
maybe like
weekend.
Final Four and champion.
Okay.
Or I mean, like I don't know. Maybe we could go round by round, but I don't know. I
All right.
guess I think uh I don't know if we want to do round by round, but for round one, I for sure think SVG is going to get eliminated. Um, I yeah, that's just what I think. But my final four would probably be Blaney. Uh, oh gosh, this is hard. I'd put Blaney, Byron, Briscoe, and I don't know. I can't think of the fourth. This is this is hard. There's a lot of good drivers. Maybe Bell. I think I'd put Bell as my fourth, and I would have Blaney winning it.
All right. Hold on. I'm just putting a message out in the chat. Um, all right. So, if anybody's out there still listening, now's your chance to ask your question. Um, so, let me look at the playoff grid and I will give a more accurate answer. Um,
I do think the playoffs this year shape up really well for Penske, and I mean JGR's been pretty fast at the flat ovals this year too. I think Bell's by far the best JGR driver at the flatter ovals. So I would say for Penske and Bell, like Gateway and New Hampshire line up really well for those. And I mean it's an odd year, so I don't really know like what Logano's going to do. That's why I have Blaney. I feel very confident in Blaney. But I think if he makes it to Phoenix and Bell makes it to Phoenix, I don't know that Penske runs away with it this year. I think Bell will be pretty strong there.
yeah. I know at least for my round of 16, I think Joey will make it through. Um, I think with Gateway coming up and
Yeah.
with Bristol coming up, those are two good opportunities to get himself
I mean, he
back.
could very well win Gateway.
Right, right. I know that the
So,
Fords are strong there, so not counting him out. but SVG only being 3 above, he could easily go out, like, next week, so, I have to switch those 2, and my bottom 4 would probably be SVG, Dylan, Bowman, and Barry. Just, like, Bowman and Barry can make up 19 points, mathematically, they can make that up next week, but they would have to have really good days, and I don't think that, they're going to have good days, um, for the next 2 weeks, not saying that they'll crash or anything, I don't think that they'll have the days that they need in order to move on to the 2nd round. Looking at, last year's results, or not last year's, but the spring results from Bristol, at least, because Gateway we only run once a year. Um, Josh Berry finished 12th, and Alex Bowman finished, looking for his name, 37th. But I believe he was involved in an accident, and um, but he did win the pole at Bristol earlier this year. So they can have a good day um, at Bristol, but they would need like really good days at Gateway in order to put themselves back in position to move up. Um, so I mean, those are my bottom four. And then for the round of 12, oh brother.
Also, Hendrick has been terrible at Gateway.
Oh yeah.
So, well, I
Yeah.
mean, I think it'll be the Toyotas should be fast, and I think Penske will be really fast.
Yeah.
Mostly JGR. I don't really know about 2311 might be. And I don't even know if I would just say JGR in general. I mean, I think Bell will be fast. I think it'll be Bell and the Penske drivers. That's how it was last year. I don't really like Hamlin doesn't normally run that well there. I don't know that Briscoe will be all too great there. I
Mhm.
think it'll mostly just be Bell and Blaney, Logano and Cindric.
Yeah. Um, the chat is lighting up with some questions already. Keep asking,
Yeah.
keep asking your questions though. Once I finish my predictions here, we'll get to that part. So for the round of 12, I'm gonna go with Chase Elliott. I think he'll be out. He's had only one win this year, and I just don't believe that he's had a strong year or the year that they were anticipating. Um, like he'll probably be at the bottom. He could be at the bottom once we move into the next round. I think it'll be him, Cindric. Um, I think Ross Chastain will be out, and probably Bubba Wallace. Um, just given that that's usually like the point where uh, it really comes down to like the best of the best drivers. Um, I think Chase Briscoe is like way too hot right now in the 19 to even be considered a round of 12 exit as well.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
they could have an abysmal next 3 races, and like they could probably still be okay on points. Um, but as far as round of 8, I think Kyle Larson will be out. And here's the only reason I say that is because Talladega is in the round of 8, and he does not do good at Talladega at all. Um, and Martinsville, the past couple of years, has been good for the Fords, particularly Penske with Blaney, and Logano's run well there in the past. But like, I don't see Larson making it through, just with Talladega sticking out to me. Of course, if he wins that first round or that first race of the round, he'll be
Yeah,
fine. But he would need to win, otherwise I just don't think he'll have a shot. And then I think Tyler Reddick will be out, Denny Hamlin, and then I'm gonna go with, I don't know. I don't even know who I have left here. I think Joey Logano will be out too. Sorry, Laner. Um, I think it'll be the 19, the 24, the 12, and the 20. Um, so that's who I got for my final four. Um, I don't know. Do you want to give your champion pick?
I picked Blaney.
All right. Okay.
And
I
yeah, I agree about Logano. My thing for him is I think for him to realistically make it to the final four, he's going to either need to win New Hampshire or Gateway or Talladega or Martinsville. But I mean, if he makes it to the round of eight, then. But I really think he'll need to either win New Hampshire or Gateway in these first two rounds to set himself up well for that final round. Um, and I don't know. I'm going to Gateway this weekend, so I'm pretty excited for that. But he hasn't finished worse than fifth at Gateway. So if they don't run good at Gateway, then I kind of just I'm turned off by their playoff chances. But I think Gateway and New Hampshire will be his two best chances to win before the final round.
Yeah, for sure. Um,
And Talladega will be really interesting in the final round
mhm,
because Talladega hasn't really been like a chaotic track in the next gen car. It's actually probably been the Kama Super Speedway. We don't really have big wrecks there anymore. I mean, the spring race pretty much ran green for the whole race. From we didn't have any big incidents. Everybody pretty much just ran where they ran the whole race. Um, so I mean, I don't know if the playoff pressure might change that, but I kind of feel like Talladega's a race where you can just run well at if you know, stay up front.
well, um, if you think back to last year, I know it wasn't in the round of 8 at the time, but if you think back to last year, um, we had a 30 car pileup that was caused at the front of the pack. So,
Yep.
it could go either
That's
way. Um,
yeah.
but
It seems like Rex and Gen 7 at the super speedways are not like handling problems. They're more
mhm,
like somebody's just making a dumb move, like somebody's bumping into the guy in front of them too hard or it's normally not it's not like a Gen 6 wreck at a super speedway where they're on edge all the time and it could happen at any moment. It's normally like somebody did something really stupid and they just took out the whole field.
yep,
But like in the
yeah,
Gen 6, like you could get loose or someone could arrow block you or there's a multitude of different things that would happen in the Gen 6 to
mhm,
cause a big wreck. Which
yeah.
that's a whole nother conversation. This car just sucks.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it really does. And we don't have enough time to get into that because I could talk about that for 30 minutes, but this car is trash.
yeah. No, I have to agree with you. There's a problem with this car. Um, and that's, like I said, it's a conversation, like you said, it's a conversation for a different time. And, that's a conversation we can have a different episode. But,
Yeah.
um, just this car has just not simply been performing the way it should have been intended to. But um, for time's sake, we'll hold that off. We'll table that to a different episode. Um, as far as my champion pick, I have to go with as well Chase Briscoe, or not Chase Briscoe, Brian Blaney. I was thinking Chase Briscoe and came out.
He'll have a shot for sure.
Yeah,
I, I
he'll have a shot, and I think he'll be fast. But I don't. I just don't trust James Small. I don't.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't.
I think if him, Bell, and Blaney make it, I mean, that'll be like a good because Briscoe's won at Phoenix in the past. Sure, I mean he was driving a Ford, but Bell should be strong. But I mean, it's hard to bet against Penske at Phoenix.
Yeah.
It really is because they've just been so good there. And that's why, like, if Logano can somehow like bullshit his way into the championship four, he's going to be a threat.
Hmm.
And I know people don't want to hear that, but like he will. And I said it last year, and I told everybody that last year that if Logano makes it to Phoenix, you can't count him out. So I mean, you just can't really count out the Penske cars at Phoenix. Um, Luckily for all the Penske haters, they're going to Homestead next year, and uh, Blaney might be fast at Homestead, but Joey's probably not going to do too well at Homestead. So
He did win a
yeah,
championship there, though. So
yeah. I
you
mean,
know,
that was 2018. I feel like Joey's fallen off a lot since, which is kind of crazy to say because he's only 36. Like he should still be in the prime of his career, but
yeah,
I don't know. The past few years, he has not been what he used to be.
mm, yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, um, just
And
in
who
the
even
next
knows
couple
if
of
the
weeks.
format's
But
the same next year? because
I
they're talking
know.
about
Yeah.
format changes too. And I personally think they should do a 3 race final round. I think that makes the most sense. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. NASCAR seems to want to have that one race championship. So
I don't know. Um, that's certainly another topic for another episode as well,
yeah,
just because like,
yeah, the
I
playoff
know that
format.
yeah, I know that a lot of people wanna see the chase format come back as well,
Yeah,
um, like, the full format of it, so, I think they might, like, take the consideration of the fans, but they're um, really gonna have to think about that and see what would work logistically going forward and would make the fans happy, if they ever make the fans happy or satisfied with the format, but,
they are
um,
just so infatuated with this whole playoff thing.
yeah.
So I don't really see him going away from it. But I mean, who knows? Um, but yeah. Anyways, back to yeah. I think Briscoe and Bell will have a shot, but I mean, Blaney's just been really good everywhere.
Mhm.
I know Penske kind of really had a off night at Darlington. It seems like all three of them just really missed the setup. I don't really know what was going on. Next week at Gateway will really like kind of be it'll be like an eye test for me. If Penske's like really dominant, I won't be too worried. But if Penske's like a little bit off, then I might kind of start to sound the alarms a little bit for them. Because Gateway has historically just been a really good track for Penske. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Because Gateway's never been in the playoffs either. So we'll see if JGR and Hendrick might step up their game a little bit too.
Yeah, and I know the Toyotas have always been strong, or at least, like, in the past couple of years, they've been strong at Darlington. At least the fall race, not so much the spring race, but,
Yeah.
the fall race, they've always brought really strong cars, but, I mean, it like, the playoffs are kind of hit or miss for them, so I'm gonna be watching them, especially, like,
Yeah, and I would
Briscoe and Bell, like, when it comes down to that Final 4, um, but yeah.
I'm a little bit worried about Hendrick too, kind of. I mean, Byron has been so good at Darlington, and he just, I mean, all of Hendrick, like they were just non-existent. Larson has dominated so many Southern 500s too,
Mhm.
and it's like they just didn't show up. And Gateway's not a good track for him either. So I don't know. I'll really start sounding the alarms if Larson does not run good at Bristol. If he doesn't run
Yeah.
good at Bristol, then something's really going wrong at Hendrick.
Yeah. And I think for me, I think the main test will probably be Kansas.
Yeah, that
I
too.
think Kansas and the Roval, I think will be a big test for me just because I know Larson runs great at both of those tracks.
Hmm.
And he's won on both of those tracks as well. So, you know, I would want to see how he performs or how the Hendrick cars perform in that setting. Chase Elliott's also won on both of those tracks. And, you know, as far as William Byron, like when it comes to Phoenix, the only reason I put him in is I think because he's just like,
I think he'll do
uh,
enough to get there, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't
It's
think he'll do
hard. It's
anything
hard
once he
with
does
that.
get there.
It's hard with that because he's been very consistent all season long in terms of just, performing and being there from week to week. It's just I don't know if that team is ready to win a championship yet. So, um,
Yeah, I mean, Hendrick cannot wait for next year with Homestead. They really like they they are probably the most excited of anybody because although Penske is dominated, like JGR isn't super far off.
yeah,
I mean, like they're at least in the ballpark of Penske at the flat ovals. So Hendrick is the one that's just like super far off.
yeah. Um, Before we spiral though, because uh, we're
Yeah.
getting a little out of the ways here, but I went with Blaney, just as my pick. I think that he'll make it to Phoenix, and I think that he's gonna have a really good race at Phoenix. But um, yeah, that's my pick at least for the championship. In terms of the Q&A session, we can move
Yeah, we got a
into,
few questions.
yeah.
I know
Um,
Land sent an interesting question.
uh, let's see. I'm just looking through some of them. Lego asked, "Why are you bald?"
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, as I've gotten older, my hair's just kind of started coming out. I tried all of the hair club stuff. It just doesn't seem to be working, unfortunately.
And
I really
I,
wish hair club could hook me up like they did with Joey, but it just didn't work for me.
uh, um, okay. Moving on to the next question here. Land said, 100 back shots, or 1,000 laps at Coda. Okay. Well,
Are we talking the long Coda course or the short course?
um, I don't know. I think I would think
Let's just go with the short
okay.
course.
Yeah, I would say the short course. Um, I mean, I,
Who was
I'm
giving
gonna
the
have
back shots?
I'm gonna have to go with the Coda option just because I don't think that I could go through that. But you know, I'm gonna go with the Coda answer. And I'll stick with that. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
just as the safe bet here. Um, is there any other questions? Oh, who was the rightful season one ROCAR champion? Uh,
That's a good question actually, because I think you and Lan both could have made a case for that.
yeah.
Um, I think it was me, you, Land, and Mav were the final four.
Uh, to be honest, whoever finished second, because I can't remember who finished second. But I think just whoever finished second out of that battle, because it was very close between Land and I. And you know, it was fought till the end, but just who won the championship, I don't think deserved that championship, but you
No.
know, whoever was next up, I can't remember
Hopefully
who
he's
the
not listening to this. I'm sure he's not, but if you are,
yeah,
we're sorry.
yeah.
This is just our
Um
opinions.
yeah. And anybody who doesn't know about the season 1 champion, come find one of us, we'll explain the lore
It was a
behind all
shit
that
show.
cuz yeah, it is a shit show of a story to
It
tell,
was
but
we had to switch cars at the end of the year, and
yeah.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
good
Um
times.
yeah. It is uh it's a great memory to remember. Um Land said, "Who has the prettier women, France in the subway or Thailand?" Um,
Uh,
uh, I don't even know what kind of question that is. I think Fabio's answer to that is probably
yeah, we'll go with
Fabio's
that.
answer is New Orleans. So we'll go with New Orleans. Yeah, we'll stick with New Orleans because I don't even know what kind of answer to that question we could give. Um, I don't know if you have any thoughts, Laner, but I don't. So,
Yeah, I that's good to me.
all right. In terms of the Q&A session, I'm not seeing any other questions, so we'll wrap up, I guess, from here. But um, always a pleasure talking with you and catching up. And hopefully, it won't be a couple months before we do another episode. It'll probably be a little while, but hopefully not too long of a wait until we can get season 3 underway. But it was a fun episode. And fun episode. I'm glad we got to hop on and talk about some racing for the past hour. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap up from here if you want to give anything.
Well, looks like Land had one more question. He asked if New Orleans should get a street course in ROCAR. To that, I would say there are probably too many potholes. Those cars would
Agreed.
not like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree with that. The car will probably disintegrate if it goes over one of those bumps, or it will like
Yeah.
it will it will break apart, especially considering the new parts on these cars. It will not be fun. So, um, I would say probably not, but that's up to Laner and the body to decide of putting a track there.
Yeah. Wait and see on that one.
Yeah, but alrighty, I think we are good to wrap up. Um, yeah, not seeing any more questions. All right, so um, Laner, I guess if you wanna say anything before we officially wrap up, but
No, I don't have anything else. I mean, yeah, hopefully we can get another episode soon. Uh, Maybe we can talk again after the NASCAR season and kind of recap everything. But um, yeah, I don't know. It's been fun getting back on with you, and I think we kind of spiraled a few times, but we haven't done one of these in a while. So a lot of topics to talk about.
yeah. No, I think we definitely covered a lot tonight, and our first episode back, we'll have a loads more to cover. So, you know, um, I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I agree.
All right.
Honestly, we could just get on here and talk about real life stuff, and that would probably take us an hour. When we started getting into the rabbit hole about the how much the cars sucked and the playoff format, I'm like, shoot, we could do a whole episode about that.
Yeah. Alrighty. Um, well, if there's nothing else, then we'll be signing off from here. Good night, everybody, though, and thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you guys being here and supporting us as always. And we'll talk to you guys very soon. Have a great rest of your night, guys.
See you guys.